welcome back, gentlemen. Well, light on the 51st anniversary of the October War victory and the spirit we take and the lessons we learned from October War and the loyal youth of Egypt to their homeland. We have with us our dear guest, Nagwa Shenawy, lawyer and member of the presidential program. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
How are you? Okay. Nagwa, give us an idea how now with the spirit of October, from what you have learned at school and Egypt, of the family and the media sources are telling the youth about the victory and of the October War.
I was raised in a very patriotic family. So for us, October festivals were very important. Every year my parents sit down and they sit the whole the and tell them this.
Yes, yes.
So Egypt did, and they try to instill patriotic values in us since we were children. And that because not a lot of parents nowadays, even though it's quite important.
Yes. Yes. What are the lessons that we should learn from the victory of October War, as the armed forces have sacrificed their life, their blood for their homeland, and also the families who were encouraging our soldiers?
I'm sorry, will you please repeat?
Yes. Nagwa, okay, I'm going to repeat the question for you. What are the lessons we should learn from the victory of October and the courage that was inside the Egyptian people and the sacrifices we have witnessed from our armed forces and soldiers sacrificing their lives and their blood for the sake of Egypt and their homeland?
Multiple lessons. Courage. No one believed that Egypt could have done what it did. There were articles and books written how Egypt would terribly fail if we did it. Innovation. They used the simplest method possible to achieve what they want. Gut.
Yes.
Determination. Yes. You do know that crossing the channel is a very delicate matter, because
yes,
the current changes almost every 4 hours. So if they time they set by even 5 minutes, the current would have changed, yes, and their whole plan would have failed.
Yes, Nagwa, you've mentioned a very important point, which is crossing the Suez Canal also, and that was in Ramadan.
Yes.
Yes, on the 10th of Ramadan, on the 6th of October of the year 1973, and that was not a minor or a small matter, because the whole army the Egyptian army have crossed the Suez Canal only in 6 hours, and was able to be on the next side of the canal in only 6 hours.
The plan was genius. It demonstrated Egyptian brilliance when it comes to tactics, when it comes to following orders, being precise. It was a feat till today.
Yes. Internationally,
what Egypt has done is being taught in military schools worldwide.
Yes.
Also in politics, what they did in order to cross, they spent weeks ahead camouflaging their plan. No one in the army knew they were going to even fight. Yes. They knew a couple hours ahead. Yes. So the planning itself was brilliant, whether the camouflage, whether the movement of all the weapons. It was quite brilliant, and if it shows anything, that we are determined people, we can achieve whatever we, yes, have in mind. Yes. And I think some of these values should be instilled in our youth.
Yes, and all the army and the commanders of the army who kept this secret, a top secret, and no one knew anything about it. Only 1 hour before they crossed the Suez Canal, all the military commanders knew about the plan, and they went ahead with it.
Yes.
Yes, yes. So. The loyalty and the faithfulness of the Egyptian youth to their homeland, how could they express it? Long ago, in the 70s, people were expressing this by soldiers or were participating in the army and defending Egypt, and also the families, even the girls in the families, and volunteering work, helping in hospitals and in curing the injured soldiers. But nowadays, how are the youth of Egypt expressing their loyalty and faithfulness to their homeland?
Well, I think now it's a bit different because they're not taught the same narratives we were. Like most of the of our grandparents, so the parents themselves, they're trying to install the same values. They're not succeeding 100% because of globalization, but on the other hand, they really love the country. They just need guidance. Some of them, they try their best. Like before, women used to volunteer in hospitals. Yes, absolutely. But nowadays we have NGOs, and the youth and the students, they volunteer, whether it's to help minorities or to help orphans or to help in cleaning campaigns and biodiversity campaigns.
Yes.
So being patriotic is different on your capabilities. You don't have to pick up arms and go fight. Thank God we live in peace nowadays because of our government and our leaders. If push comes to shove, I believe the Egyptians will stand by their country like they've always done.
Yes.
But right now, patriotism has a different perspective. So at least that's what I believe.
Yes.
And what I've seen from working with NGOs and working in student bodies, Egyptians, no matter their age, they really love their country. They just have different ways of showing it.
Yes, but Ms. Nagwa, nowadays, always youth in Egypt saying we would like to participate in army. So this is a very also important and a very good picture that I see.
That's true. If push comes to shove, you'd find a lot of people wanting to volunteer in the army or participate in the army, and that is not found in a lot of countries. A lot of countries, their citizens are forced to go into the army, or they're paid heavily, like mercenaries. In Egypt, people do volunteer out of love. People, at least during the war, you do realize women gave away their gold, their jewelry. Artists would give away the funds and whatever they raised through the concerts or movies to help the country.
Yes,
I believe if Egypt is in a dire need, that her and her elders and everyone in the country will step up and help. They can.
It's true. You've mentioned a very important point, which is the role of art and of singers, artists during the war of 73 and before the war started. For the great legend Kulthum, from the concerts she used to several countries, and also other Hafiz and all singers stood their country Egypt.
Yes, that is true. Yes. Art has a huge role. It helped motivate the people. Not only a financial, it helped motivate the people. It helped give them a correct image going on, not only in the national, but abroad as well. Like Kulthum, when she traveled to France, she spoke about what was happening.
Acted like an ambassador to her.
Exactly. Omar Sharif, when they went to France, they went after the war between France and Algeria, and they were asked, and they put it in view. We support our brethren.
Yes.
We never visited France before the war ended.
Yes.
So I believe our actors
a pivotal role, of course.
Exactly.
Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your valuable information, Ms. Nagwa Shenawy, a lawyer and member of the program. Thank you very much for joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, I song.